Today we are going to discuss Hoya myths you wish people would stop repeating. This is going to be a good one. I have my hot take on it. I've asked my Instagram community, I've asked you guys on YouTube, and I also asked the Hoya master himself, and he answered. He answered me and gave a response, so I'm going to read that off. I'm very excited to share all this with you, and we're going to repot. We're going to repot. So I got some Hoya cuttings here that I need to repot. I also have I got some other Hoyas to repot. This is my Hoya Lisa that is in a tiny pot. I'm ready to give her a repot because she's just drying out way too quickly. And I have Hoya Curtisii. I also have my Hoya Croniana Silver that is in need of a little rehab. It's not happy. It's not happy. It used to be very happy with me, and I loved it, but I need to give it some TLC. So we're going to do that while we discuss this. Are you excited? Because I am. First of all, I am so delighted that Doug Chamberlain answered this for me and he gave his okay for me to share it. So excited. So, okay, let's discuss these cuttings. All right, so there is one cutting in here that I don't know what it is. I have labels on these, but there's two without label and I already forgot. There's one without a label that the shop did not give me a name and I messaged her to get a name, so I'll get that and put it at the bottom. All right, so let's do the first one. Okay, this one has roots. There is roots on that one. It is the Hoya elliptica, and it's very pretty. These cuttings will take some time to really take off for me, and I'm okay with waiting. This is all right, well, let's do this one. Uh-oh. Oh no. I already have this one, but I just got another cutting to put into the pot, so I guess I'll have to repot that one. This is the Hoya Kamingiana. I already have one. But I wanted more. I wanted to get another stem for this plant, and it's rooted really well. I actually have a lot of success with just putting my Hoya cuttings in water. I used to put them in moss. I used to put them in perlite and fluval. It doesn't always work for me. This one is the Hoya melliflora. It's not the multiflora. It is a different one. So I'll be putting the names of these on the bottom because I tend to get a lot of these names wrong. So this is beautiful with the roots. Wow. Okay, we're gonna put that one. I am actually going to just take the sticker and put it right on there. I don't need the Kamingiana one because I already have that plant. I'm gonna get the Kamingiana. So this one definitely does need a repot, and this Kamingiana looks a little different than this one. Interesting. You see what I mean? There's this one and then this one. Ooh. Okay, maybe I should put these up separately. Let's discuss this topic that I have promised you guys I'm going to discuss. I did write some points on my notebook to discuss, and I'm going to share my hot take first before I share Doug's. Because I have a lot more on my list, but I think I'm going to share just two. And because there's other people that shared what they think some Hoya myths are, I want to share theirs too. So I'm just going to share two of mine. I have I'll share three. I'm going to share three. I have three. I have like 10, but we'll just do three. Okay, so the first one for a Hoya myth, and that is, Hoyas like to be in always a warm climate. And that's a myth. That is a myth because This is the one with no label, that the girl didn't give me a label. So, and this one I purchased, and there's lovely roots. Look, I'm so excited about this one. This is the, look at the leaf. I'll show you these more up close once I get them repotted. I don't want to take them completely out of water. Okay, so my hot take on this topic is there are Hoyas that like cooler temperatures. They prefer it versus hot temperature. So Hoya Bella do like a, it actually is it's quite the plant where it likes it. It does like it warm, but it also likes it cooler. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this Hoya behaves in fall. I am new with the Hoya Bella, so I'm excited to see what happens. And then the Hoya linearis, that's over there, right there. It is a cooler loving Hoya, and not only that, it loves to be in the cooler temperatures, it blooms when the temperature drops. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's what I mean. There are certain Hoyas that do prefer cooler temp. It's like not all Hoyas like it hot. Okay. Um, the Hoya retusa. So I'm talking about the Hoyas that I have in my care. The Hoya retusa is a winter Hoya, basically. It will bloom for me in January. January, when the polar vortex is beating down, Hoya retusa would remind me it is okay. It's okay, because there's blooms that will come from it, and I'm just so happy about that. So Doug Chamberlain do have a temperature guide. I will link his temperature guide in my description below. He shared which Hoya likes which temperature ranges, and I'll share that as well. What is your hot take on the temperature, Hoya temperatures? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So these Hoyas, they're going from water to soil, and with my underwatering habits, I don't know if that's going to be a good or bad thing. I've done this before where Hoyas um, go from water to soil, and I've done okay with it. But there's always that chance that they're not going to do okay. But you set them up for success. I'm going to try. So this is the Hoya Kamingiana, and it's funny that this Hoya looks different from mine. I'm going to have to. I was going to pot them up together so I can not have separate plants. I'm going to snip off those leaves from the bottom of that plant. Okay, that's all I'm going to cut off. Man, I cut off quite a bit. I'm going to save these leaves in a book and see if I can use it for a craft. I will be giving this a really good soak when I'm done. I might even put a support on it. Let's do that now. I might need more of these. I have these little, they're for crafting. I'm going to use it as a plant stake. I got 2 new leaves from the water propagating. That's nice. Quite exciting. Yay. That is up, and I need to put my lovely plant tag on it. Okay, and that's going to get watered after. Okay, so my next thing is that Hoyas, you hear the myth, there is a myth that says Hoya wants more light. I would beg to differ on certain Hoyas. There are some Hoyas that, yes, maybe they want more light. It depends on what you're giving it, but there's other Hoyas that don't want that much light. They actually need some darkness. So my Hoya pubic calyx Splash is one of the Hoyas. I've done an experiment on that Hoya where I limited the light to 12 hours of bright light, and then I gave it 12 hours of darkness. And what happened, just 2 weeks of me doing that, and it bloomed for me. I have a link to the Hoya experiments. I'll put it somewhere here, for you can look at it. It's a very, very short video, but I did experimenting with Hoyas where sometimes blasting with light is not what it needs. It actually needs some time of darkness, and it goes along with the temperature, because Hoya linearis right here, Hoya linearis does really well once the fall time change happen. I'm getting a group of people together so we can do some Hoya experiments. It's gonna be so fun because once the time changes, it is the perfect time to do some experiment on your cold and dark loving Hoyas, and that would be Hoya linearis. There's other Hoyas on that list, again, but Hoya linearis prefers to have darkness and light, kind of equal amounts to bloom. So I don't feel Hoya growers or beginner Hoya growers should just be so concerned about blasting a Hoya with just light. All right, so I think this one I'm gonna, it's just the, I wish there was like a smaller pot that I could give it, but I think this is fine. I think that's fine. Ah, yeah, I'm gonna probably stake this one up too, give it some support, being that it's quite, the stem is very thick. This one, I buy some of my Hoya cuttings from one shop on Etsy. I'll link the shop below. Whenever I order any cuttings from her, she always gives me a free cutting, and this one was the free cutting. And she didn't put a label on this one. I'll have to send her a message. I have already sent her a message to ask her, so I'm sure she'll answer shortly, and I'll be able to put it on the bottom. Okay, this is secure, and I don't know if I'm gonna need a stake. I think we're good. Okay, so let me do one more cutting, and then we'll discuss Doug's answer for this. All right, one more, and that's quite a bit of roots, so I'm gonna give it this pot. This setup is going to be temporary, because I'll eventually move it to a bigger pot. So I'm putting the cutting all the way against the back of the plant pot. I don't know, it's just the way how the roots have already started growing, and I think it'll be fine. I'll probably support this one, give this some support. Okay. Let's see what Doug Chamberlain said about the question that I asked him. What is one Hoya myth you wish people would stop repeating? And his answer was, the only myth I can think of is that growing Hoya is easy. Okay, so this is interesting for me because I've always thought growing Hoyas have been easy, but he broke it down a little bit more. So let's go back to what he said. Anyone who grows a large number of Hoyas is putting in a lot of hard work. There is really nothing easy about it. Every day, hard decisions have to be made that can make the difference in whether a plant thrives or ends up in the compost bin. It is confronting space limitations, pests, possible disease outbreak, even water or not to water, fertilization schedules, failures in equipment such as grow lights and fans, replacement of grow tents that rot out from the extreme humidity. Now, I didn't know that was a thing. It is a mess picking up constant spent flowers and wiping up sticky nectar that has dripped not only on the plant leaves but all over the floor. It is trying to care for plants in living spaces without damaging those spaces from watering routines. And if you get into selling cuttings and rooted plants, that is an entire new set of headaches and worries that I won't get into here. That is his thoughts on the myth. It's not easy. So let's discuss this a little bit. I have always thought Hoya growing is easy, and I still think it is. It is easy in some ways. The things that he mentioned, I feel there are things that I do go through with Hoyas that do make me a little frustrated sometimes. I mean, spent flowers is all over the plant room, and I'm constantly vacuuming here, especially during spring, summer, and fall. Winter, because everything slows down in the plant room, there's not a lot of blooms. My Hoya retusa blooms in the cold, and actually I have not even like brushed off the blooms from January's bloom. I haven't even brushed it off yet. It's still hanging on the bush a little bit. So what he said about confronting space limitations, I'm going through that right now. And you want to, like, you want to trail a Hoya, you need space on the bottom. And then if you decide to put a Hoya on a trellis, there's space higher that you need. So there's lots of issues with that. And there is another myth that I will say, that Hoya takes forever to grow. That is not true. After growing some of these Hoyas, I can say that they don't grow as fast as some of my plants, but they don't take forever. They do grow. After a few months, when you come back, this plant needs a new pot. It needs another. You need to give it a bigger trellis. It grows. If you give a plant the right condition, it's going to grow. I love to hear your thoughts on Doug Chamberlain's myth that Hoya growing is easy. I love to hear what you have to say about it. Let me know. All right, so let's go over what my Instagram followers had to say while I repot another plant. Oh my gosh, am I gonna get through all the repot today? I don't think I'm going to. Oh no, I think I'm gonna have to just I think I'm gonna have to just repot a few more cuttings and only the Hoya Lisa. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the others. Some more myths from you guys on Instagram. Hoyas are drought tolerant. I agree that's a myth because they are not. Like they can take a beating. But if you underwater your plants so much, you're gonna lose leaves. Cause I've lost, like, there's so many things that can go wrong if you just not water your plant. I mean, I understand overwatering is the worst you can do, but underwatering is also a problem. I mean, take it from somebody who underwaters. You could actually lose that plant. Okay, and this Hoya, I'm excited to grow this one. I am pretty excited to grow this one. And there's a new leaf coming. That, oh my gosh. Oh, I have a bloom. Oh, there's a peduncle on here. You see that? That is why I bought this in hopes I would get a peduncle. It's probably gonna fall off because of the stress of getting chopped and repotting and all that. So it's probably not going to turn into anything. It'll probably just fall off. But listen, I bought this one just because of the blooms. It's like white and bell shape. Okay, let's get the Hoya Lisa repotted. The next one is variegated or green version. Now, in this, she says that it's a myth that there's variegated or the green version. I didn't have any other details on it, so I would need her to elaborate on it. Because I say that if a Hoya has different color leaves. To me, this is variegated, but there's a name for this one and it's not variegated. Actually, it's tricolor. It's like three different colors. But I like to hear your thoughts on this. Is that a myth that there's the variegated and green are a myth? I don't know. I love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, so the next one is some told me once that they can go up to 12 months without fertilizer. Uh, hmm, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Yeah, that's no. I don't think so. That's definitely a myth in my book. And another one, if you said they are drought tolerant, they can get away with it, but you can cause dry rot. I agree with that. You can get away with underwatering, but yeah, underwatering has problems on its own. I mean, take it from someone who underwaters. I've seen the trouble with underwatering. Hoyas don't like to sit in water. They definitely don't like that. Okay, so the next one is that they like to dry out is a myth. I feel like that would be why the peduncles keep drying out. I agree. That goes with the whole drought tolerant thing. This plant's going to be a lot happier because it was drying out way too much with the tiny pot it was in. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about the answers I had on YouTube. Oh, didn't I say I was gonna do three? Talk about three. Oh yeah, with the drought tolerant thing. A lot of people say do the taco test to see if your Hoya needs water. No, no, no. If your leaves, I used to say that when I started. And if your leaves are to the point of wrinkle, you've passed the point because you should water before that. That's just my thoughts. A lot of things is, a lot of this comes from your own experience. So people that say some of these things, they get it from their own experience. Because you can't just do what someone says. You have to like try it and see if it works for you. Let's go to YouTube and see. Okay, so one of you said taco test. Oh, when they need water. I just said that. Yeah, definitely don't recommend doing a taco test. The other thing someone said was the whole idea of blasting them with lights. Not every Hoya likes a south window. I agree with that. Um, entirely depends on where they are from in nature. Absolutely. If the leaves are developing ugly and looking bleached, maybe move them back a bit, especially thin leaves. Oh, thin leaves Hoya don't like a lot of light. And another one said, I wish everyone would realize it's pronounced Matilda, not Matilde. Okay, so tell me if this is true. Because I say Hoya Matilde. How is it pronounced? Matilda or Matilde? I'll put the two different versions here. I like to hear your take on that too. Oh my gosh, I need to know. I need to understand these Hoya stuff because I'm still new at growing Hoyas. This one and the variegated and green one definitely like had me kind of confused. So my Koniana Silver is not happy. Not happy. There is a bloom coming and it's on this one. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I wanted to like see this vine is not doing well. I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it. And it's like completely dried off from the root. Let's just unpot what I can. Let me make sure there's not like root mealies or I don't see anything. I'm gonna move you closer so you can so you can see what I'm seeing. This is pretty close. All right, hold on. This is one of my favorite plants, you know. All right, so I'm kind of just looking it over. I don't really see anything. It's nice and moist because I watered it. Definitely a bigger size pot, and hopefully. All right, so this is the one that dried off from the root. I'm actually gonna put it in water. We are going to snip right there. Snip that leaf off. Wait for it to callus over, and then put it in water. All right, there's no air pockets that I can see. All right, and let's look at the plant to see if where I can propagate. Okay, so that's already so much shorter. I mean, I'm gonna put it back into the pot, so it's going to make a fuller pot. But let's see if I can cut any other vines off. This one, okay, there's no, oh yeah, no, there's a peduncle coming. I don't want to touch that one. I love these blooms. All right, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna touch. I'm not touching. This is what's left. And we're gonna water. We're gonna water after. This was my favorite plant pot for it, and now I need to find another one. And I think I have another one, another plant pot like that, a bigger one. So I'll look for it. But okay, so we have this, this, and this. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these to callus over. So there's 3 cuttings, and then I'm going to just put it in water and see if I can get it to grow, and then we'll put it back into the pot. Oh, right. I wanted to do the Hoya curtisii. I don't think I'm going to get to it today, but I'll show you. Hoya curtisii is not, it's not doing great. It's in a small pot. I'll do this another day. Maybe I was trying to get this one to bloom this year, but it didn't happen. See, like there's like all this with no leaves. We are going to fix. We're gonna fix. This is gonna be like another day. I think this one does not like to dry out, and I might have just dried it out too often. This one likes to be, I feel like this one likes to have more water. I want to hear what you have to say on the question of what is a Hoya myth you wish people would stop repeating. Love to hear your thoughts, and let's see if we can start a discussion on the comment section. That would be quite fun. Thanks for hanging out with me and chatting, and I'll see you in my next video. Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, already freaking me out. Okay. Oh my God, is that a mealy? Okay. I just want to get my life together.